Netherlands. Sorry, there was a voice now saying recording in progress. Maybe some of you heard that too. So I all want to welcome you in the Netherlands. My name is Stephan. I'm a guide a guide to the company, doing mainly tours in Amsterdam and also in the rest of the Netherlands. And every year in April and the first part of May, it is the time of the flower season. So, and that is right now. So what I wanna do today is I'm gonna take you through one of, I think I can say one of the highlights of the Netherlands. And that highlight is the gardens that are about 40 minutes west from Amsterdam. And these gardens are called the Keukenhof. So I know in some other languages, people are pronouncing it completely different, but it is in the right Dutch pronunciation. It is Keukenhof. And Keukenhof, by the way, is a Dutch word. The Dutch word keuken is a word for kitchen. So Kitchenhof, so kitchen gardens, it originally means. And in coming about 55 minutes, I will take you through the gardens. I'm going to show you a lot of of course, a lot of the flowers, tulips, and a lot of other flowers too. And in the meantime, all of you have the chat option. So if there is a question, if you want some extra information about things, I'm happy to help you there with that. So there are, by the way, a lot of people also today, because it's May 4th, and that means that in the Netherlands, everyone, all the school kids have school holidays. So there will be a lot of people. Plus, it is beautiful weather. It's a beautiful sunny spring day with about, I think, 15 degrees Celsius. So I never know how that is in Fahrenheit, but I think that's about 58 Fahrenheit if you're looking from the other side of the ocean. No, but the coming time, I will show and tell you a lot more about what we can all see here in the Keukenhof Gardens, about 40 minutes west from Amsterdam. So I took my car, and in about 40 minutes from my house, I arrived here in the gardens. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna change the screen, because you know my face. You will see my face maybe at the end. But in the meantime, sorry, I have a little cough. It's no COVID, by the way. It's just the changing of the seasons. No, but I'm going to change the screen. So you see my finger now for the last time. And then you see what I am seeing. And you also hear, I think, what I'm hearing. And let me walk into that direction. While we have over here at the right side some of the first tulips, very tiny, almost wild tulips, or they are looking like the wild tulips that we can still find in some parts of the world. But let me slowly walk you through something typical Dutch, and that something typical Dutch is an organ. Yes, there we are again. I hope you can all see me again. I don't know exactly what happened there, who took it over my screen, but we were here at the Daffodils. One of the flowers that we can find in this area a lot. And it's already a little at the end of the season for the daffodils. Most of them are blooming in April. So they are not in the best condition anymore. So if you're coming here in this area, at the end of half of April, then the fields are full of these golden daffodils. But that's up to 2 weeks ago, and not so much now anymore. So, but let me go to this beautiful little organ that we have over here, playing, by the way, very modern music, as you can hear. Let's give you a feeling. Okay, that was the organ playing. It was playing, by the way, is one of the only songs in the Netherlands that ever made it in the US charts from a Dutch band. We don't have too many of that. But I'm gonna walk you a little way so you can hear me a little better and less of the organ. But if you're coming to the Netherlands, normally in almost every weekend in the city centers, you can find these portable organs literally everywhere. Let me just go here on the side. And I want to show you some of the first flowers here in the Keukenhof. And the ones over here are quite special. If I'm coming more nearby, if you look at the ones over here, you can maybe imagine the name of these tulips. These are tulips. Tulips in a very specific shape. They're almost looking like ice creams. So they also naming them ice creams. So the yellow one is called the ice cream banana, the Tulipa ice cream banana. And the other one is the ice cream strawberry. So it's unbelievable. Look at, if you're coming more nearby, how detailed they are. And basically the ones over here, if they're blooming, they have like these big, really big flowers with double petals. So we're calling these the double tulips. So there are several types of tulips, and these ones are the double tulips. So I was just seeing this and I thought like, okay, this is a nice one, at least to start with, for a very special tulip there is here in the gardens. Okay, it is a busy day today. Let me see in the meantime. It is a busy day today, but the good thing is already a little later in the day, so there are less people than there were earlier. And I'm walking here in the Keukenhof Gardens, and the Keukenhof Gardens is basically a show garden from all the flower farmers that are growing their tulips and other flowers in this area. So about 65% of all the flower bulbs worldwide is coming from this part of the Netherlands. Only a tiny part of the Netherlands, I have to say. And we're doing that already for generations and generations over there. And what happened is that shortly after World War II, some of the farmers, while we are, by the way, looking at some beautiful, very tall tulips, different colors, white, red ones, and over there are also some pink ones, and it's really beautiful. I know. You will see a lot more beautiful things. Now, but what happened shortly after World War II is that some gardeners here in this area, they were asking the local government, can you help us with presenting our newest flowers, the newest combinations, the newest things that we made. And together with the local government of Lisse, that's the local government here nearby, they decided to use an old estate, and we're now walking over that old estate, an old estate of about 80 hectares that was part of the old castle, Keukenhof. So in the 15th century, there was a castle over here from some very rich people in the Netherlands, and later on, they decided to give this terrain, that was in the 19th century, family gave this terrain to the local government. And then in 1949, they decided, okay, let's use this estate as the place where all the flower farmers can show their newest tulips, their newest daffodils and everything. And in the meantime, look at this. We have over here, I don't know if you can see it very well, but it looks like a blue sea of very beautiful grape hyacinths. And it feels like a river that's all the way going alongside the trees. And on the sides, we still see some of these beautiful red tulips on both sides. And I'm just going over people now. Okay. And again, look at the shape and look at the shape of these tulips that we see over here. I'm trying to control. I have a stabilizer. We're calling that a gimbal, and I'm trying to stabilize my view so you have the best views of everything. Again, a beautiful color. By the way, a single tulip. So, and talking about single tulips, we also have double tulips. I showed you already some before. But look at this field, this bed of flowers that we have over here. And yes, it looks almost unreal. You're completely right. But it is real. I can really tell you all of them over here are real. And we have to go back to the 16th century for finding the first flowers, the first tulips here in the Netherlands. A lot of people are thinking nowadays that the tulips is a local flower from here, but it's not. It's not. The tulip is coming far, far, far more from the east. Originally not from some people thinking that they're coming from Turkey, but no, they're also not coming from Turkey. They're also not coming from Turkey. No, they're originally coming from Kazakhstan. In Kazakhstan, and they came with the Silk Road from China to Turkey. From China to Turkey in the 13th century. And then the Turkish sultans, they loved these flowers. So they were starting to grow them in their gardens. And what happened in the 15th and later in the 16th century, that more and more Europeans were coming in Istanbul or Constantinople at that moment. And they were seeing these flowers and they were bringing them. They were bringing them first to Austria, to Vienna, to the palaces over there. And later on, there was a Dutch botanist, and he was a friend from the Austrian ambassador. And he came in Vienna, and they showed him some of the tulips, by the way, not like the ones that we see over here with these fringed petals. No, but they showed him some of the flowers, and he said like, wow, I love these flowers. So he brought some of the bulbs with him back to the Netherlands, and he started growing. He was a botanist on the University of Leiden. That's not so far away from over here. And he started growing, and he found out that this is the perfect location, that over here in the Netherlands, we have the perfect climate, the perfect soil, the perfect climate, the perfect winds, the perfect temperature, everything to grow them. And and I can imagine that when I'm looking at this, when I'm showing, you almost forget what I'm saying if you look how beautiful this garden is. So, and this is only a small part, a really small part of the gardens. In total, it's 80 hectares, and there are several parts. And the part where we are walking over right now is designed, because of course it's all designed, but it's designed in the English landscape style. So, what you see more in English gardens with like, nothing is straight. So this part is the English landscape style. You can feel that a lot more in the Netherlands in parks, for example, in Amsterdam, but also in other cities. And another part of the Keukenhof is more in the French style. So think about the palaces of Versailles with all their lines, viewing lines. Well, that's another part. So, but I want to start over here again with some grape hyacinths, and then look at the ones here at the right. I'm trying also to zoom in a little sometimes, or to zoom, not with the zoom function, but with showing you the flowers from nearby. And happy birthday for someone whose birthday is today. I will not sing. I cannot sing. I'm sorry. I can only show you some more flowers. Only virtual. If you would be here, I would give you, of course, some tulips, because we have enough over here. But that's not completely possible today. So, and then over here, look at what we have. A beautiful combination of two types of, again, tulips. And the ones over here, if you look at them, look, I think this is really different from the tulips that you're finding when you buy some flowers. So it is a very specific shape, but the ones next to them, like the purple ones that we see over there, are even more special. And we're calling them, and the ones over here are not in the best state anymore. It's already a little at the end of the season, but we're calling them parrot tulips. Parrot tulips with like a very interesting shape. It looks like an exploded tulip or something like that. But they are really beautiful. So back to little history. So in the 16th century, they were brought here to the Netherlands. And my colleague in Leiden, I'm saying my colleague in Leiden because I studied at the University of Leiden too. He studied a lot longer ago than I did, but he found out that they're growing here perfectly. So he started growing them. And then in the 17th century was the moment that the Netherlands were one of the richest and most powerful countries in the world. So we were making lots and lots of money by trading. And the capital at that moment, by the way, it's again the capital, was Amsterdam. So in Amsterdam, there were a lot of traders and merchants, and they were getting crazy rich. Filthy rich, I can maybe better say. They became filthy rich from trading. And what they did is some of them started investing in the tulips. So because they loved it and they were really thinking like, okay, we can maybe invest in these bulbs and selling them worldwide, trading them again. And because of that, it became a lot more popular. So of course, Dutch ladies, but also ladies, and by the way, also men, were starting to love this flower. And so many people were buying it that we even had the first crisis in the world, the first boom of what we had crashes of the stock market, but the first real crash was here in the Netherlands because of what we call tulip mania. Tulip mania, where so many people were interested in specific types of tulip bulbs that there were days, there were moments, some months where where it was going up, and for the price of one tulip bulb, you could buy a whole apartment in the city center of Amsterdam, a canal house. So nowadays you can buy a canal house for 3 million euros, something like that. So imagine that, one bulb only from some of the very special tulips. And look at this, how beautiful this is. I'm calling this what we see now the ant view. So this is a little how an ant will look at the tulips when they are going under it. So it's of course a really beautiful, beautiful area. So this again, a little English landscape style. I will go to the end to give you a view from the other side with some other color combinations too. Look at this. Look at the variation of yellow and red. Brunel, they're asking which color is the most common. Yeah, there is originally the tulips were a little yellow and red. That were the more of still the colors that you see most. But nowadays, almost every color you can think of is possible. So there are tulips. Oh, this man is going on a location where he's not allowed to come. No, but you can find tulips in almost every color. It's maybe a good question. There's only one color that we don't have as a tulip. There's only one color, and that is the color blue. Only the color blue is not possible. It's not. They tried. They really tried. They tried, by the way, a lot of colors. One of the colors where they had most problems with was black, by the way. To get a black tulip, that costed them generations and generations of trying. And you have to imagine that nowadays there are almost 50,000 different tulips. 50,000 in shape, in color, in of course the height of the flower, everything. So, but 50,000 in total, and some of them are almost black, but blue we still don't have. So if you ever see a blue tulip, that's not real. And by the way, that's interesting when I'm thinking about that, because someone was sending me a picture recently of a blue and yellow tulip, and he said, like, look at that, that's an Ukraine tulip. And then I found out when I was searching it a little more that this was not a real tulip, it was a painted one. So there was a company here, by the way, also in the Netherlands, that painted this tulip to make it in the Ukraine colors. And I almost knew immediately this cannot be true, because there is no blue. And also, if you wanna grow a new tulip, before you have a new variation, that will take you about 20 to 25 years. So it's not that you say like, okay, I want next year another variation. No, you have to be very patient. So, and then you still, if you're trying, you don't know the result. You don't know the result. So in the meantime, by the way, of course, it is a flower garden, but not only that, the whole garden, we just saw the white big flowers of the rhododendron, but there are a lot of beautiful trees and all kind of other plants. So it's not only flowers. And here, let's go up a little. We have another rhododendron. Saying that always with my Dutch pronunciation, I know that. But look how beautiful these flowers are. And wow. One of my, by the way, favorite trees when I was a kid, because with the rhododendron, it's always really nice because you can play under it. There's a nice place to hide. So we had a very tiny one in our garden, and I love to play hide and seek over there. Okay, let's go and show you a little more, because there is a lot more. They made some little artificial hills. By the way, not completely artificial, because one of the things that people don't know is that this area where I am right now, I am about, I said already to start, 40 minutes away from Amsterdam. So about 60 kilometers in total. And this area is part of the dunes, of the dune area, the dunes that are protecting the Netherlands against the sea, against the North Sea. So, and what you have in this area, the Keukenhof Gardens are in the middle, and around the Keukenhof Gardens, you have all these all these flower farmers growing their tulips and other flowers, and they're doing that on the same soil, so the same soil of the old dunes. So, and when I'm saying dunes, then I think you know what I'm talking about. It's all sand ground. So sand ground is one of the best places to grow your flowers. And that's one of the things that my colleague, Mr. Clusius, in the Leiden University, he found out that it was a really good soil over here to grow. So what they did during generations and generations is that they used the sand of the dunes to make the area bigger to grow the tulips. So because it became it became one of the biggest industries here in this part of the Netherlands. So, and nowadays here in the Keukenhof Gardens, I also said it already earlier, these are the show gardens, and a lot of the gardeners, a lot of the flower gardeners, they are every year donating their bulbs to make these pieces of art. And everywhere in the gardens, you can also find small plaques with the names of the farmers that were giving their bulbs. So, and of course, they also want us to show their newest breeds, their newest variations, all what they have been working on the years before. But it's wonderful, isn't it? This. Okay, let me walk a little more, because I cannot, it is 80 hectares. I cannot show you 80 hectares at all. Okay, going a little over here. I have to go around people sometimes. Oh, look at these. Look at this combination again of colors of white and purple and some yellow. The ones over here, you see that they have a double row of petals. So the traditional tulip, the ones we all know, has only one row, and these ones, the ones over here, have two rows. So we're calling it a double tulip because of the two rows. Okay, here at the other side, there's one of my favorite parts. You have to go over the little bridge. We see a lot of kids, by the way, in the gardens because it's school garden. Oh, it's school holiday now. So of course, parents are going with their kids, hoping that on a Wednesday it's a little less busy. Well, yeah, it is a little less busy. And if you come to the Netherlands, and if you are in the area around the Keukenhof Gardens, what you see then is things like what we see over here. You see the same type of flower, and then fields and fields and fields full of the same tulip, the same color, everything. But what I think is really unique from the Keukenhof is that they're designing it. And for example, over here in this bed, look at this, a combination of tulips, of daffodils in different shapes, different colors, different heights. It's a piece of art. I really think it's a piece of art. So they're mixing different different types together to get a result like this. And what we see over here, by the way, here in the middle, it's I'm just going a little more nearby. This over here is one of the black tulips. So as you can see, it's not completely black, but we're still calling it a black tulip because it's almost black. This is how far they can get it. There are now, originally there was only one called the Queen of the Night, but nowadays there are several variations also with fringed petals, and even in the parrot variation there is one, but it's still a very unique color. Or color, is black a color? That's the question. Look at this. Look, imagine your garden. Imagine to plant this in your garden. It is a lot of work. So here in the gardens, in the Keukenhof Gardens, there are 40 gardeners, and they're working the whole year round to design this for us, to make sure that it's looking like how it is right now. And you have to imagine that the Keukenhof Gardens are only open for 8 weeks. So it's a very short period in time, 8 weeks from the end of March until, and Gaby, I'm coming back to your question. Now they're working from, they're blooming, the flowers are blooming somewhere between the end of March and half May. So there's an 8-week period, and that these 8 weeks, the flower gardens are opened. So only 8 weeks. And to make it even harder, most of the tulips that we see over here, just let me show you just one, like the yellow one or the orange one there at the back. Most of them, when they're blooming for 3 to max 4 weeks. But the gardens are opening 8, now even 9 weeks in total. So what they do under here in the ground, they're calling it the lasagna technique. So they are planting several bulbs under each other. So the first ones are blooming the first 3 to 4 weeks. The second ones, the second period, and nowadays it's already in May. So we now see the third row that's blooming for us. And then I saw a question, Katie, about a green one. Yes, there are green tulips for sure. And I don't know, it's always at the moment that I'm getting a question, can you show that color? Then it's, of course, I don't see it nearby. But if later, if I see one, I will try to show. But of course, with a green tulip, it's a lot less visible. So most people don't find it very attractive. You can maybe also imagine that. Oh, and one of the things, you're looking at Zoom, I would love to show you how it smells over here, because the smell is amazing. And look at this. Again, these beautiful pink ones over here. It's really a spring day. And then here at the side, the fringed ones. Wow. And in total, by the way, they're planting every year about 7 million bulbs. 7 million bulbs are planted here in the gardens to show this to all of us. And look at this. This is another combination. By the way, a green one. Look at this one. Look at the one that we see over here. It's not completely green, but you can see it is a parrot tulip again. So it is a very interesting shape. But big part of this tulip over here is green. So they also have complete green ones, but this one is coming at least close. It's coming nearby. So yes, green is possible. Only blue is not possible. Now look at this. Look how beautiful this combination of flowers is. And what we also see that some of the beds are already, the flowers are gone. So that means they have been blooming earlier. So on most locations they have the 3 layers, but yeah, it's still nature, So it's very hard to completely control. Oh, look at these. It's really gold, isn't it? Really gold. Even more in the sun. I had to wait until I can go here over the water. Sorry. Otherwise I get stuck for the rest of my life. But look how romantic this garden is. I was seeing earlier, I didn't want to point my camera on it, but I saw some people that were laying on the grass reading a book. I mean, this is the perfect place, of course, for that. Oh, well, the kids are having fun over here next to me. Okay. By the way, another tulip, again, not completely green, but with some green parts to show you again that it is possible to have a green tulip. Look at these ones. Again, a single tulip. Most probably a single crown one, but okay, let me get to show you some more of the beds. Of course, there are a lot of people coming over here just for their photo shoots. So I'm trying. Look at this combination. This is a little tropical combination of colors. Sorry. And then there's also these big flowers that we see just above everything. And these ones are called the Crown Imperial. So you can imagine it looks a little like a crown, like a big crown, just sticking above the rest. And it's imperial. So, and in this case, it's also orange, the Dutch national color, but it's beautiful. It's a beautiful combination again of colors. Let me try to get a little in between the flowers. Oh, sorry. This is how a bee would see this. Flying. I mean, this is, of course, this is the heaven for the bee. Imagine that. Imagine that you're a bee. I could not make a choice. And then this is one side of the color combination. And then if you love a little more subtle, then of course we have this. Sunny would love to see a close-up. Yeah, I'm trying to get close-ups from a lot of things. But also look at this. I love this combination of a little more subtle colors, pink and yellow. But I mean, I think I need a gardener to make this, to design this for myself, because it's too much to to do it myself. And let me see, over here again, we have a really beautiful, the white one is again a parrot tulip together with some daffodils, by the way. What a wonderful one. And then over here, another one that we almost call black. As you can see, very deep purple. And then in the combination with the light yellow one, the Crown Imperial is already a little at the end of the season. Okay, I'm walking a little too much in the sun. Question, wait, I'm just, can you make tulip honey? That's a good question, but there's not a lot coming. But yeah, you can make tulip honey for sure. There's only you need a lot of tulips to make honey out of it. So, and I hope I gave enough from the close up from some of the black tulips, like the ones over here again. Look how beautiful it is. They're all beautiful, but that's the hardest thing for me to decide what I'm showing you, because everywhere around me there are flowers. So, but let's go, sorry, this way. I told you before that there are several flower farmers, and here we can see that. So this company placed a small plaque over there in the grass to show these are the ones that we gave this year, and if you want to buy them, you can go and do that online. By the way, one important thing, if you are, of course, every year in this part of the year, there are a lot of people that are coming to the Netherlands. They're seeing the flowers, and then they think like, oh, we want these bulbs too. And if you are doing that, you can order the bulbs. Never buy tulip bulbs in this time of the year, because what they do in all the areas around is that they're growing the flowers, and at the end of the season, that's around May 10, so it's now almost the end of the season, they cut off the upper part, and that is to make sure that the tulip bulb itself is getting more strong. And not only that, it's also to let it grow a little longer. And then in July or August, the tulip bulb are removed out of the ground. They place them first to dry a little, and then from October and November, they start selling it. So if you ever want to have tulips, and if you want to have tulip bulbs, make sure that you don't buy them in the Netherlands in April, because for sure you will get old bulbs that will never come out. Big scam. I have to say, sadly enough, it's a big scam. In the meantime, look at this. If you love flowers, then this is the place, of course, to come to. Look at this combination. Look at this bed again. Still from the same farmers. What is my favorite one, Brunilde? Yeah, that's a hard one. That's a really hard one. Maybe later I see one. There are several ones that I really like. Let me see if I can find some. You can imagine with 50,000 different variations, it's a little hard to think about my favorite one. And I also don't know the names of all 50,000. I tried. No, that's too much. But I know the variations. So I know the main variations. Like for example, this is again a fringed tulip. And you can see that because the petals are all. And when going to the top, you can also see that the petals are all fringed. And this is again how ants are seeing this. Oh, look how wonderful it is from downstairs. I'm almost holding my gimbal now on the ground. So it's literally an ant view. And if you, and look at the ones over there, by the way. I cannot come a lot closer, but the red ones over here, again, double tulips, but they are, we're calling them peony tulips, but they almost look like roses. So Some of the tulips really have an identity crisis. And then over here, very strong colors again. If you love that, then this is the combination. Okay, let me see if oh, I also love the ones over here. Look at these. I mean the white ones. If I would marry again, I think I would love to have a bouquet of these type of tulips. Not completely white, with a little green, a little purple, but the combination, even a little yellow, but the combination is beautiful. Okay, let's go into some other fields. You sometimes see the shadow because it's such a sunny day, so you see me how I'm walking. And again, look at the ones over here. With the sun coming through the petals, it's magical. I love white. I don't know why. I really love the white tulips. Maybe because it's a little less familiar, but they're beautiful. White ivory, yeah, that's a little, you can almost call it that color. But there are also some of the white ones that are almost looking like silk. So let me see if I can find that one. It's maybe here. I have to go around people sometimes. No. Oh yeah, over here I have one. Like the one over here. Look at this one. It's is it white? There's a little pink glow, I think, over it. But if you're coming nearby, it's looking so fragile. And the interesting thing is that these flowers, they are not that fragile. They're looking more fragile than they are, because you have to imagine this is the Netherlands, and in the time that they are blooming, and when they're coming out of the ground in March, it can still freeze over here. It can snow. It can do everything. And the interesting thing is that I was here in the Keukenhof Gardens, and the first week we had a lot of snow. So there was about 1 inch, about 3-4 centimeters of snow that fell on April the 1st. So that was a week after the opening. And look at the flowers, they're still there. So they can survive. Okay, I wanna catch, let me see where, oh yeah, I know where I am. And also look how beautiful the sites, the plants are. They are also blooming right now. This is for me, I think, the 5th or 6th time that I'm now here in the gardens. And every time you see other plants and other flowers blooming. So for example, when I was here on March 24th, then there were maybe 5 types of tulips that were blooming already, just started to bloom. But there were everywhere daffodils. So that was more a daffodil garden than a tulip garden. And now we are at May 4th. Yeah, there are still some lost daffodils, but most of them are gone. So it is literally changing. Also, the first time, all the trees that we see over here, they were still, there were no leaves, so there was no green. And now you really see that the spring is there. All the young new leaves are coming out. Most of the blossom in the trees is already gone. That was about 2 to 3 weeks ago. So it's changing. It's changing. So if you ever have the time, you should just stay a whole month in the Netherlands to see it changing. Oh, one of my other favorites. I showed you already before some of these tulips that are looking like ice cream. I love ice cream. That's maybe why I love these ones. Also, as a kid, this was my favorite one. But they are beautiful. They're really beautiful. So sorry, Brunilde, I don't know exactly what is my favorite ones. There are several ones. And then of course we also have this. Beautiful colors, the blue of the sky, the pink of the cherry blossom, and the green already from the first leaves. It's already a lot of leaves, by the way. And it has been snowing here even a little. Okay. I'm sometimes going a little to the right and the left. You may be wondering, that's because there are people in the way. And I try not to film them. And I don't know if you can hear it also. There are so many birds the whole time. I mean, of course, a lot of people, but also lots and lots and lots of birds that want our attention, I think, or maybe the attention from other birds. Okay. Let me take you. We have about 10 more minutes. So, and there's still a little piece of the park that I wanna show you. And we're not so far away from there now anymore. Let's stay here at the right side. Again, another farmer that made a beautiful combination of the grape hyacinths that are the blue ones. So sometimes from far away it looks like bluebells, but they are grape hyacinths. So it's another type, same color. The color that we don't have for the tulips. So that's maybe why they used it in the combination. And over here you can still see some lost daffodils. Again, a little river of grape hyacinths going over the mountain. They're so extremely creative, all these gardeners over here. Imagine that. And then the whole year working. And by the way, they were now for 3 years working to show us these results. Because the last 2 years, because of COVID, the gardens did not open. So they did this 2 years for nothing. Yeah, of course, the flowers were blooming, but nobody was there to see it. Okay, and again, wait, let me go around some people, show you this combination. Look at this, how romantic. And again, I would love to show you, to smell you the fragrance of what we see over here. That's amazing. But yeah, that's maybe the next version of Zoom. Not in this one, not in this one yet. Okay. Oh, there's even a hammock over here for people that want that relaxed feeling. Okay, I'm gonna walk a little to the end. You can see over here a little how many people there are here. So I'm not the only one. Some more. Oh, look at these ones. I keep on seeing beautiful ones that I want to show you before the end of this tour. But also this shape, it's like the dress of someone, it's the dress of a lady. And they are there in several colors. Also in purple and pink. Okay, let's go over here to the side. So imagine 80 hectares. I really have to make a choice what I'm showing you because there's so much more that we did not see right now. But again, there's enough to show. Look how wonderful this is. Again, with a nice combination, a nice mix of different types of flowers, different colors, different shapes, everything. Trying to get you a little more nearby. If there are any questions, by the way, feel free to ask. I mean, it's a little hard sometimes on Zoom to see the questions, but I still have some minutes while we go to something else, typical Dutch, where I wanna end this tour. So we are nearby now. You see all these people taking photo shoots with their favorite beds, their favorite type of flowers, all kind of variations. Okay, it is a little more busy over here next to this drawbridge. And that is also because over here on the right, look at this, we have something else, very typical Dutch. One of our famous windmills. So we're not the only ones over there. It's now, it's not in use at this moment, but it is really beautiful. So this is the Netherlands. Flowers, a windmill. I'm only missing a bicycle and a clock, but that would be completely 100% Dutch. By the way, this windmill that we see over here is not originally from this area. It's donated from another part of the Netherlands. Oh, look at this, together with the daffodils. The last daffodils there are. No, it's donated by one of the other provinces, the northern part of the Netherlands, because they wanted to have a windmill also over here in the Keukenhof to make it completely Dutch. Oh, let me see. I'm gonna take another picture from this behind these flowers. One moment. I'm trying to. Oh, I saw a question. Sometimes the questions are going so fast. Wait, let me see. Let me see if I can see. I want to get you a picture with some of the. Some people are doing a photo shoot over here, so I'm trying to get not in their view. Look at this. A windmill with the nice pink tulips that we have over here. So we have a little less people now. Trying to cover the people. This is like the trick that a lot of photographers are using normally. So it looks like an empty windmill, but of course it's not. They're doing a photo shoot over here, so I was trying to get around that. Let me try it from this part. Over here, typical Dutch again. And of course, everyone, if you love this location, if you love this area, then we can really welcome you to come to the Netherlands. And if you want to do that, come in this time of the year. And that means come in April. The end of April is the best time. And if you want to visit the gardens, I can recommend you to do that during weekdays and not in the weekends, because in the weekends it's so busy. There can be up to 60,000 people a day here in the gardens. So then it's packed with people. 60,000 people on 80 hectares together with 7 million tulips. So it's better to come on a Monday or Tuesday, and even, I mean, it's a Wednesday today in the school holidays, but it's a lot less busy than what I've seen in the weekends. So, and it's still nearby from Amsterdam, so only 40 minutes. So it's not really a big trip to come over here. Plus, one of the other nice things is that if you are going if you're going around here, around the Keukenhof Gardens, you can see all the fields, all the tulip fields. So all the fields of the farmers that are growing their tulips. Of course, it's then in the same type, but it's that the fields are yellow and red and purple and all these colors next to each other. So that's also really amazing to see. And that's in this time of the year until May 10th. After May 10th, there's nothing to see anymore. And yeah, you can also combine it with King's Day. Exactly. King's Day, although King's Day, it is quite busy. But if you love a party, then for sure you can do that. Let me just show you my face again. Let me see. Can I have a nice? Now I'm just going into the field over there. So I hope you all enjoyed to see a little more of the Netherlands, a little more of the Keukenhof Gardens. So I'm normally guiding people over here. By the way, not only in the Keukenhof, but also in Amsterdam and some other Dutch towns. So I'm taking people to The Hague, to Delft, to Gouda, name it, and I'm taking people there. So and I'm also sometimes doing it virtual. So it was a pleasure, really a pleasure to show today some of the most beautiful parts of the Keukenhof Gardens, and I hope to see some of you maybe one day in Amsterdam. And what I said already at the start, I'm guiding myself, and I also have a lot of guys that are working with me or working for me, and we provide all kind of tours in the Netherlands, in the gardens, in Amsterdam, in other Dutch cities, so everywhere. So a short promo. So in my profile, you can find more information about that. And that means in this part of the year, we're doing a lot of tours around the flower fields. So for me, even it's something like, okay, I'm now almost done with the flowers after 6 weeks. After 6 weeks of doing this 2 times, 3 times, 4 times per week sometimes. So now it's getting back to other beautiful parts of the Netherlands because there's so much more to see. And thank you, Brunilda. Thank you also for helping. Thank you for all the questions. I hope that I answered all of them. If not, this is the last minute that is possible. Oh well, we hear some carillon at the start. Let me also show you over here. These ones, they are beautiful too. Very deep purple, not black, but really purple, with a white color, a white edge, I have to say. So, okay, I don't see any questions anymore. So that means that I really want to thank you for joining today. In the Netherlands, we're saying not bye-bye, not au revoir. We're saying doei doei or tot ziens. So I'm going to say again, doei doei from the Netherlands. Doei doei from the Keukenhof Gardens. Hope to see you again. Bye-bye.